Tell me your story.
1965. My uncle, which my father's older brother, was in the hospital, and he had he was really a sharp individual. Anyway, he was in Providence Hospital, and he actually tried to take Phyllis to offered her take her to dinner, and she refused, and so he said, well, I'm going to introduce you to my nephew. So Uncle Bill called me and asked me to come down to the hospital. So I went down to the hospital, and then I was sitting there talking to him, and they asked for the nurse to come in, and Phyllis came in, and I didn't know her name at the time. He introduced me to her, and she came in and went out just that fast. And anyway, so 2 years later, I was at my sister's apartment, Doris, and her friend Millicent lived in the same building, and she came in, and Millicent said, oh, I got a girl I want you to meet. And so she told me, Phyllis Glover, and said, if you're interested, then you can look her up. Her father's name is Philip Glover. So anyway, I was going to Central Methodist Church at the time, and I had sent a Christmas card to Phyllis, and then after a couple of weeks, I called her, and she told me I could come over, and I went over, and I said, oh, this is the nurse, because I had met another nurse too from another uncle.
Okay, we don't want to hear about that one. Go ahead.
But anyway, we and when I saw her, I says, oh boy, Phyllis, oh man, that's great. So anyway, we talked, and then we went over to Ronald and, well, I don't know, Ronald and Marie, they weren't married, I don't think, at the time, but we went over to their apartment, and we were playing, I don't know, playing cards and playing games, and it was just a lot of fun, and we were laughing and joking. It was really nice. I mean, we had a nice time, and so I took her to her house, and anyway, on the porch, I kissed her. Oh. I kissed her, and I was so excited that I jumped off the porch. I didn't hit any steps. I jumped completely off the steps. I was excited. So that's
How did you propose?
That's how we met. Well, a little bit later, which wasn't several months later, and I talked to her every day after that. Either saw her after that first meeting, either saw her or talked to her on the phone, and I took her to the 20 Grand. 20 Grand was like a club. And it was, I guess it was pretty noisy, and we were sitting there, and I had the ring, and I had told her mother and father, and anyway, I asked her if she would marry me, and she said yes.
Yay!
and it was exciting, I mean, two young folks. It was exciting.
Do you consider your story to be a love story?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I do too.
Yes.
It's a beautiful love story.
It's definitely a love story. Yeah.
50 years in the making.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, how does it feel to be married for 50 years?
Oh, it's wonderful. There's always, you can't always say, well, there's no problems, that kind of thing. But it's been great. I mean, it's been wonderful being married, and having the same wife. So so many of your friends have one or two wives, that kind of thing. So it is exciting. It's wonderful. I mean, I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. You know, so to have a wonderful wife and have a good relationship
And a great daughter.
and three beautiful children and 7 grandchildren. I mean, it's a blessing. God has blessed us. And,
Amen.
so I'm thankful. I'm really thankful.
Well, thank you for sharing your love story.
Yeah.
Signing off.